The following is rated TV MALSV. It contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Lead, encourage, and part of that is leading by example. And the other half is, when things are, messing up, or, like I said, people are complaining. I'm complaining, like fixing that mindset, because that's a big part of our success is our mindset. So being able to fix those things, and then, we were just outside. Being able to fix those things and progress, that's key for what we have and what we got. Like I said, the race and being able to be ready for first game.
We're looking to not only master our fundamentals over the next couple weeks, but also execute the playbook and really bring it to life. We'll work heavily on situational football as well. But there's really been one thing just that's been on my mind over the course of the summer, and I give Ryan some credit for this. He brought it up in the springtime. Has anyone seen that Netflix documentary, Thunderbirds? No one. Okay, good. Spoiler alert, okay? Spoiler alert. All right, so it's the Thunderbird pilots, and what they do is they come together, and it's 4 new pilots, and they've never worked together, and through the course of their training, it's all about earning trust, because it's a dangerous job, and they're doing some very dangerous acrobatics throughout the air. And at one point they say, I don't look straight ahead. I got to look at the lead pilot the whole time. And for 30 or 40 minutes nonstop, and we're just a few feet away. And shoot, over the course of the years, there have been some tragedies that have happened with how dangerous that is. But as I think about our team and where we're going into training camp, there are a lot of parallels there, because as a first-time head coach, first-year head coach, a lot of new staff members on the coaching staff, a lot of new faces in the locker room. We don't know each other particularly well, and we've tried to bridge that gap over the course of the spring. But really, the next 6 weeks is about us coming together, because it takes time to build that trust. It's hard to earn, and it's really easy to lose that trust. And so really those next 6 weeks are huge. And what we're looking for, it's dependability, it's consistency, it's production on a day in and day out basis, not only from the players, but from the coaching staff as well, as we get to know each other.
It's all part of building the culture of what type of defense that we're going to be, and you have to pay the toll. You have to pay the price. It's a privilege to be on this defense.
Do you like doing up downs?
It took me back to like 7th, 8th grade a little bit. Like you're going a little bit, but it was cool to kind of, obviously when you're in it, it's not that cool. But when you get done, and you all are kind of a little tired, and then you go out to practice, it's kind of what you want. It's like that grimy kind of camp start.
It's a way to mentally train players to be tough and push through adversity. Training camp's going to be difficult, and we're going to have to be able to overcome when we're tired. How do we focus? How do we concentrate? How do we dig down deep inside and rise up and make plays in critical situations of the game? And a lot of times that comes with being tired. So it's all just part of, as much as training them physically, it's about training them mentally.
time with BCP and BTS. Smash up time with BCP and BTS. Smash up time with BCP and BTS. Bop, 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 bop. We gon' rap about the beer progress, but we won't leave out what makes us stress. Bottom line, we all gon' confess, this looking like a season of success. It's mash up time with BCP and BTS. Bop, bop, bop. It's mash up time.
What's
Wow.
up, everybody?
What's
Smash
up?
up time with
Wow.
BCP and BTS. PJ, Steven Zimmerman, and I want to extend a warm welcome to you. How are you, brother?
I'm good, man. I mean, I feel honored, man. That was really nice. Thank you, man. That was a one heck of a welcome there, man. Thank you.
Well, PJ, I got to tell you, this is the second week in a row I came up with a video, and I have to give all my thanks to the Lord and Revolution Cannabis. Zim, how are you, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm just fiddling around with some technical things to see if it's going to work for us tonight. Let's see.
We got something special for
Let's
us.
see.
Huh?
Oh, hey,
Oh, look at
we got a
guy.
second cam tonight. So
Look at this
can't
guy.
imagine what we'd need that for, but
I
we
got a feeling I know.
we got a second camera here. All right.
PJ's like, you're not gonna start jerking off on camera.
God
okay?
no. I know that was a really suggestive point of perspective.
Yes.
But
it was aimed kind of low there. So I don't know.
I know. I was like,
it's just because that's what's in front of me. I swear there's nothing weird going on here. I'm
Thank
just
you.
trying to make
Thank
sure that
goodness.
things are working. All right.
thank goodness. Now, Foster Covers should be joining us soon. I got a feeling he is trying to finish taking a shit. It takes a while for us older guys. PJ, you're about there too. And then Carl is backstage, but Carl is reluctant to come on because he just had his wisdom teeth removed, and so it's very difficult for him to talk. I told him to come on and just flash some, middle fingers, show us his ass cheeks, whatever. So Carl, you're at the controls there. You know how to do it. But yeah, thank you very much. This is a special edition of BCP and BTS. Mr. Shorty could not be here because he's vacationing with his lovely bride. They're up by Mount Rushmore right now. I think he is also in the chat, so it's good to hear from him. And hopefully we can do this again real soon when he's back in town and we can have the full crew. Tooch, who is out sick, he's got laryngitis, and my man Shorty is on vacation, and Foster is stuck in the can. So I'll have everybody here soon.
He's coming slowly.
He's coming slowly. All right. I've got tons of tape that I would love to play for you guys and have you guys react to what is going on. I was so busy putting that video together that I forgot to put these in the order that I want. But let's just start with the defense, because Dennis Allen is trying. Oh, there he is. Let me see. Let me bring him on before I start watching video. Because Foster is so goddamn handsome. Wouldn't you agree?
I really
DJ?
thought I really thought we were going to get away without him.
There he is. Look at how beautiful those teeth are.
Yeah.
Foster, did you get a chance to see the Open, the BCP BTS Open? Were you taking a shit? He went outside and smoked. That's what he did, right, PJ?
Right.
I was sitting down taking a piss.
Yeah, right.
We've already had that conversation on this show.
Yeah, right. I know for sure you were smoking a cigarette. Fucking Tipperello or some shit like that.
I wasn't. I had to go get a strawberry, one of those frozen strawberries bars. It's a little too frozen though.
Yeah, but it's still
good.
It looks freaking good. So anyways, I was just letting everybody know that we are going to play some tape and react to it. And I wanted to start with Dennis Allen, who today and has really made an impression on the Bears with how tough he is. Like one of the things he's doing these up, downs. So one of the things that he said is that it's all about building a culture.
It's all part of building the culture of what type of defense that we're going to be. And you have to pay the toll. You have to pay the price. It's a privilege to be on this defense. And so we've been doing that on every defense that I've been associated with since 2009. And it's a way to mentally train players to be tough and push through adversity. Training camp's going to be difficult. And we're going to have to be able to overcome when we're tired. How do we focus? How do we concentrate? How do we dig down deep inside and rise up and make plays in critical situations of the game? And a lot of times that comes with being tired. So it's all just part of, as much as training them physically, it's about training them mentally.
PJ, I know that you told me months ago that you were going to be doing some coaching. So
Right.
How's that going? And can you relate to what Mr. Dennis Allen is saying?
It's going pretty good. We're still, in the beginning stages here. We actually don't get our full complement of players until move-in day on the 9th, and we have our first practice on the 13th. Okay. However, we got some freshmen that have come a little bit early, but we're not really working out with them. But I get to get
that happens with freshmen.
The eye test.
Oh yeah,
it gets an eye test and see them work out from a distance and. Yeah, it should be. We'll be better than we were last year. I'll put it that way.
I like that.
The team last year went 0-10. So, yeah, we'll be better than last year.
Well, 0-10 is you can't go anywhere but up when you're 0-10.
Exactly.
So good luck.
Exactly.
What do you think about? Yeah, really. What do you think about Dennis Allen whipping these guys and hardening their camp experience probably more than they ever had since they were professionals?
I think for me, it's always easier, and not just with football, with just life, period, even parenting. It's easier to be harder at first and then soften up as opposed to being soft and then trying to
Great point.
Yeah. So I think that's a great philosophy on how he's doing it. I mean, I'm in favor of it. I'm because I'm more of a disciplinarian coach myself. I'll talk to the players first, and then respond. But I don't start actually joking with them until after you have proven that you can follow my instruction, because you don't get my joking side until I know I can trust you on the field.
There you go. That makes sense. Foster, what about you? Despite the fact that after sucking down that ice cream, you got pussy lips going on there. How tough do you like to see your football team coached?
Well, my coaches, it was always about discipline. Because if you're not disciplined off the field, you're not disciplined on the field.
100%.
And Pete hit it on the head. There's kind of a procedure. I mean, I haven't done a lot of coaching, but I've had like 680 employees. So, I've worked with a bunch of people, man. And that's just people that have worked for me over the last 40 years. So there's a procedure, the steps you go through as you get it's like anything, man. You're developing a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and for it to work out, you got to. The number one thing is no bullshit on either end.
Yeah.
Because the minute you throw that in there, then there's no level ground to start with. So but the procedural aspect is, I think, is more critical than people give props or account for as far as building that relationship. I've had some guys. I had a guy that was with me on and off because things happen in life.
Right.
26 seasons, and that was just for roofing and summer construction time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a long time. I mean, I've never even been married that long. Well, if you add them all up, maybe.
Yeah, right. That's what I was just gonna say. Zim, up downs. I mean, I'm going to admit, I just wanted to make sure that we were talking about the same thing. So I went and I Googled, up downs. Okay, it's what I thought it was. Are you familiar with up downs at all?
Yeah, it's a burpee without the jump.
Well explained.
As what my coach would have called it, it's half-assing it. But hey, my coach was hard on us, man. I mean, if you were a minute late for practice, you were doing bear crawls for about 5 minutes for every minute you were late, man. There were guys who'd roll in 10 minutes late and they'd be doing bear crawls half the practice. So, oh yeah, he was brutal on us, man. But I tell you what, I was late one time that season. That's for sure.
It's effective, right?
It is. And the whole thing about it is that, what was that word that we all clamored for last season? All of us, especially like after the first time Eberflus kind of flubbed a late game situation. What was that word we all used? Accountability.
Oh, the same one. Accountability.
Accountability. And the thing about accountable people is accountable people will never use the word accountability.
Good point.
And I haven't heard this coaching staff use that word a single time.
Mm-hmm.
And love that from them. I love that they have a reason for everything that they're doing, that they are using discipline in an effective way and not just in an arbitrary way to basically say, fucking do it because I told you to. It's like, no, there's a reason behind it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, the standard is
to your actions, and there is a reason for all of it. And ultimately what it creates is it's development at all levels, whether it's development of your physical attributes, development of your camaraderie as a team, or development of your coachability as a player. On one level or another, there's a reason behind it all. And again, it's the accountability behind it all that I love to hear from this coaching staff. It makes me wonder, like genuinely, it makes me wonder if George Halas is like reading books or something right now. Sorry, George McCaskey, excuse me. If George McCaskey is reading like more books or something behind the scenes, like trying to figure out like what is happening here? Like, I need to educate myself on these processes because these guys really have something figured out here. And I've never hired somebody like this before.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you mistakenly said George Halas, but as soon as you said that name, it triggered something in me that I believe if George is able to see what is going on, that he's got to be really impressed with Ben Johnson for two reasons. Number one, the disciplinarian that he is, which is something that George was to the nth degree. And secondly, the fact that he is innovative, and George Halas was innovated so much in the NFL. A little bit behind perhaps Paul Brown of the Cleveland Browns, because Paul Brown, was the first to use film to the All-22 and stuff like that. But George did a lot of things: the forward pass, the T formation, and stuff. And so, Ben Johnson is a chip out of that block. PJ, I got a question for you. These up and downs, which Chicago Bear would you guess had the most problem with doing all 40?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Zim is raising his hand, so we're going to give you 5 seconds. We'll go to Zim and then Foster for a guess.
I would say Billings.
Oh, everybody agreeing? Foster?
That was exactly my guess, yeah. Not only because of his size, but because he had that pec injury last year. I mean,
yeah.
As somebody who personally has dealt with a shoulder injury recently, it lingers, man. It lingers.
Absolutely.
Well, this is Kevin Byard, the veteran safety playing his second year with the Chicago Bears. He was asked about the 40, and then as a follow-up, he offered this.
You know what I mean? It's almost like an initiation. And it's special. We had a guy, Alex Cooks, who actually reported here, got released, and actually they signed him in, I think, yesterday. He flew back into town, and to start practice, we all circled around him, and he did his up downs. Kind of felt bad watching him do it by himself, but at the same time, it's just like that's just one of those deals. Like the initiation of his defense, like, and then once he finished, everybody was like, "Welcome to the defense," and got on with practice. So it's funny to me because he was saying the same thing. Like if we get to week 15 and we sign a guy, he's gonna do 15 up downs. So that's gonna be 40 up downs, which is gonna be tough, but no, man, that's just what it is, man. I think that's the type of family atmosphere that D is creating for this defense.
So it's 40 up now?
40. Yes, 40. 40 for sure.
Can't, like, no more up downs? Or?
Yeah, no, once you did them, you're good. Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Keep tall.
Cheap. Please. I don't care if you're year 10 or year 1. That thing is real, for sure. And it's funny because in the meeting, we watched the film yesterday, but because they filmed it. So y'all know Big Bill's like 340. I ain't trying to joke with Big Bill's my dog, but we got to like 20, bro. He wasn't even getting off the ground at that point. He was just hand on his stomach, picking his arms up. He was doing, it was funny. It was hilarious.
I love it. See, you work guys hard, and what happens? They joke about it. They love it. At the end, they're not complaining anymore. They're saying, yeah, it was pretty cool. It's like building family and so forth. And then you pick the fattest guy of the group and you watch him in the film struggling. That's what the game is. Even when it turns into business, it still has to be a game. And Dennis Allen, God bless him for taking that approach with this team. Foster, what do you think? You're in agreement?
Nope.
I knew you would disagree with me.
No, you know what? I got to say this because I had a problem getting over here. I thought I had the link and lost it. Oh. And I wanted to say hi, Zim, because I haven't talked to you in a while. Just saying hi.
You want us to leave and the two of you guys?
There's no way I can pull. What's going on, man? The hair's looking good. Everything working out well for you?
Thanks, man. Yeah, no, haven't cut it probably since the last time we talked. So,
crap.
Just letting it flow.
Life's good. Everything going good at work. I caught a little bit here and there over the last 6 months, so I know what's going on.
Hey, man, work is work, but life's good out here.
That's it. That's the important shit, man. All right, I think we can let these guys come back now. I just catching up, man. If they want. Excuse me, sir. What was the question?
I was hoping you would turn to your left and give him a little smooch there. We could have something go viral.
No, I've been actually meaning. I wanted to have Zim and
Tooch
and my guy from Bar Down Hockey on
a video
show again. Because we just things have been so messed up for me. Anyways, I haven't done my job. I'm failing my job.
Yeah, well, you're not failing, dude. Every time that you're on and on camera, and besides, your life takes priority over.
That's failing.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Stop being Dennis Allen.
Almost none of it's important anyway, so it really doesn't even matter if you think about it.
I hear you exactly.
What the hell are we talking about?
And Foster, I'm like you. I'll sometimes stress over things. Like I'm editing the video and I'm saying, that's kind of corny and stuff, and I should change that. And it's 5:30, and I'm thinking I got to get this shit done. And I showed it to my wife, and she's like, "That girl in the strip bar opening her legs. Why? I want that shot out." And I go, "Okay, honey. Yeah, okay. I'll do it right now."
It leads off the video.
Exactly. Anyway, all right. A little bit more on Dennis Allen. He was asked about Jaylen Johnson. Everybody is worried about Jaylen. I've seen some stuff on social media that has irritated the shit out of me. Oh, Jaylen Johnson's always bringing drama and stuff. Come on. People get injured. Anyway, this is an update from Dennis Allen on JJ. Yes, go ahead, PJ.
One thing I wanted to add.
Sure.
As far as making a new player come in and do the up down,
Yes, yes.
I would be pissed. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I would be pissed.
Well, like he says, imagine you sign somebody week 15 and they got to come in here and do 40 up downs. Like,
Right.
bro, I was on the Eagles 6 months ago and now I got to come in here and deal with your shit. Like, especially imagine they're like a 5-10 team at that point. And you're just like, hey, you got to do 40 up downs. And you're just like, the fuck I do.
And see, and that's the thing. And the other thing I'm thinking about, because my mindset would be, well, if I get cut, Pose, you got to do some 40 up downs on the way out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well,
Imagine a guy's like deciding between two teams. You know, he's like, well, the Jets could sign me or the Bears could sign me, and they're offering the same money, but the Bears got 40 up downs attached right there.
Yes. Well, you know, the guy that they signed, Alex Cook, he was dropped 2 days ago. They re-signed him, and you know he's the first guy that's going to get dropped again. But he's going to do those 40. He's probably thinking to himself, "Why the fuck am I doing this? These guys are just going to cut me again."
He's sitting there in his head. He's halfway through those 40. He's cussing his agent out in his head. You know, he's like, he brought me back to these motherfuckers.
Like, yeah. Yeah, they're cool when you make the team to have camaraderie, but for the guys who get released, you're looking at, oh no, Pose, you got to owe me some up downs on the way out the door, bro.
Yeah, but I love the way the team came together. As Bayard said, you know, they all watched him, they all pulled for him to get the 40 done and stuff. So I'm really feeling a great vibe. Again, this is Dennis Allen and Jaylen Johnson.
I think number one is I know Jaylen's going to do everything he can to get himself back and get himself ready as quickly as possible. He's a consummate professional. So I feel good about him being ready when his body's ready to go. So from that standpoint, not a ton of concern there. And I think really for us, our focus really has to be on the guys that we have out here right now. We're going to work on coaching the hell out of them and getting those guys better. And look, sometimes you have to face some adversity. And how do you overcome that? And we'll get a good opportunity to see, you know, who wants to step up in his absence. So, so that's where we're at on that.
How nice was it for you to see Tremaine gelling with the rest of the guys here in the short term?
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously we'd love for him to be out there. That's not the way it is right now. And so we're not going to get into, you know, what the consequences of that are or anything like that. We're going to focus on, just like I said earlier, we're going to focus on each and every day, coaching the hell out of the guys that are out here, getting those guys better. And then when Jaylen's out there, he'll add a lot to our defense.
Sorry, that was the commercial version of what I've been posting these press conference clips on social media, and then I put a little billboard of some of our shows to alert people. I figured, you know, these things are getting like 25,000 hits. I might create an audience for it. But anyway, is anyone here concerned that a few weeks could turn into missing the first part of the season?
I could see it, but I just don't think it's that likely. You know, he's been training through the off season. There's videos of him out there with Brisker and who else was there? Kyler Gordon and Eddie Jackson. Eddie Jackson was there, and these guys are all out there training together. And these are just a couple weeks old. Maybe that's where he hurt himself. You never know. But no, he wants to prove that he's that dude. He wants to prove that he is a bad motherfucker. You know, we haven't had a true island in the NFL since Darrelle Revis. And I think that Jaylen Johnson believes in himself enough that he wants to show that he can be that guy, you know, that it can be Johnson Island out there. You know, that's why he wears that number 1, because there's only one person out there and you got to beat him. You know, and
I love it.
He's nasty out there too, man. Like, he's itching to be out there. You know, he is. It's not a contract thing. It's not anything other than just he got banged up a little bit, training a little too hard. He's got to reset himself. You know, I mean, How many of us have done something stupid? I mean, you hear about it every offseason, where a guy goes out, he either goes too hard or he blows off his fingers with some fireworks, or he does something stupid. Who was it like a couple of years ago that like stepped on a toy car and fell down the stairs and like had to get knee surgery or something? It was some guy in the NFL who had something like that happen. Dumb stuff happens. It's totally fine. Dude, I threw out my back the other day mowing the lawn because I was using a lighter, easier to use lawnmower than the one that I usually use. Right? I ripped it around too hard and felt my back go. And I was like, cool, that's that. So, we all do stuff.
You want to hear one that's even worse? I was like, for 24 hours, just farting up a storm. It's like, what the hell, man? I can't stop farting and so forth. So I'm watching TV a couple of nights ago during the afternoon, and I start to doze off, and I'm going to let out another fart. I let it out, and all of a sudden, wet shit comes out of my ass. So you talk about doing stupid shit, bro. I'm your man.
Yeah. Although we've done stupid shit together and we've only hung out one time. So, I mean, stupid shit, come on now. So,
very, very true.
But the long and short of it is like, maybe it's not a bad thing that he's out either, right?
Yeah.
Like, first of all, if there's one player on this defense that you trust not to be there the first couple weeks, isn't it Jaylen Johnson?
Yeah.
Like, he knows his job. He knows how to do it. He knows how to do it well. And he's already proven that he can do it at an all-pro level, right?
What do you think, PJ and Foster? You guys agree with Zim, or are you a little concerned at all?
I agree with Zim. I mean, Zim is spot on. I think, the fact that he's pretty much the leader of that secondary. And I think he's anxious, biting at the bit to get out there because he's like, I want a new contract. So I want a new contract. So I want to prove myself. He's not taking the attitude of, they deserve to give me, they got to give me a new contract. He wants to prove himself.
Yeah.
So I think he really wants to be out there.
What do you think, Foster?
I just follow right along with these guys because he does want to be. This happens every fall.
Mm-hmm.
On a team somewhere, this happens every year. And it's the same story where whatever city you could go in today, probably there's something probably happened in another city, same thing. Oh, the guy's hurt, blah, blah, blah. We're in trouble the first 3 weeks. I mean, that's the normal Bear fan reaction that I see a lot of times, but it's going to happen. And the other thing, though, is this. So what happens if he is out for a couple weeks during the season? I don't think it's a big deal. It also gives you an opportunity to verify more of the people that you have behind them, because you're going to need them sooner or later anyways.
Right, exactly.
And you'd rather have him out early. If he's got to be out and miss a regular season game, I'd rather have it be earlier in the year than in the middle of maybe a winning streak, or they're playing for playoffs on the end of the line. It's, coming down to the end of the season. So I just don't think it's that serious.
Well, one of the interesting things, and Zim, you brought this guy up, what was it, 2-3 shows ago? The cornerback who has been getting Jaylen snaps. What do you know about him?
Nahshon, right, man. He, I don't know a ton about him. I'll be completely honest. Most of the information I got from him was from the Hogan Johns podcast. However, they've been off the air for about a month. That's how long this guy has been in the rotation and impressing these coaches. I believe he has a sibling in the NFL as well.
Well, Zim, while you're looking that up, let me play for you what Kevin Byard said about Nahshon.
He's been balling. He got a lot of turnovers in the spring, but I got full trust in him. He's been a veteran. He's been with Al in Dallas or whatever, so he already kind of knows the defense, kind of knows the technique and the things that Al wants to get accomplished. He's already coaching some of the younger guys up on the sideline, so he's a vet, long corner, being able to stick with some of these receivers. So I really like what I've seen from him.
So yeah.
So there you go.
There's some battles going on here, and the guy that they picked up from the Saints, the pass rusher, I'm not even going to attempt to say his last name, but and Trey Flowers. There are some serious camp battles going on. The left tackle position is what we've been talking about. It's happening elsewhere, other positions for backup roles and maybe a starting role or two, particularly given the injury situation. This is fascinating, and for the first time in many, many years, I feel confident about the depth of this team. You know, we can quibble a little bit about the offensive line, but I believe in Bill Murray. I believe this guy is going to be good. I believe that Ryan Bates, if he can recovers from his injuries, you know, because he's got some serious injury issues, that if he can, he will play at a good level for a backup. And so on and on, I'm really, you know, feeling very, very confident, gratified that we're in a position now where we can withstand an injury to a major position because we'll get a guy back. What are you guys thinking? Carl says he's over Ryan Bates.
Well, first off, we'll go with you were talking about Nashawn Wright. So he played at Oregon State. I actually did remember watching him on film and mocked him to the Bears in the later rounds. I remember.
Look at that.
And he wound up being a 3rd round pick, top 100 pick, 3rd round pick. Spent 3 years in Dallas, 1 year in
Dallas,
Minnesota.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Dallas and the Vikings, high prospects. Like I said, I just don't remember, but I know he was with Oregon State, and I remember watching the film. So I'm everything that they're saying, that's why the guy was a 3rd round pick. Mm-hmm. Hasn't worked out with other teams, but that doesn't mean nothing's, you know, something different can't happen here. I wanted to step back too because the coach said this. He goes, and somebody brought it up in the chat too. And I like this attitude by the coach. It's a privilege to be on this defense. You've got to earn it. You've got to earn it. It's a privilege.
Yes.
So going there, I touched on Nashawn. Now I forgot what the heck we were talking. As far as positional depth, because Peach, how many times do we talk about depth over the last 3 years? It's been the same problems every year. Interior offensive line. How's our depth? We know the back end of the defense is good, but do we have enough pass rush? That's been like the weekly statement. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, sure do.
I last year I was confident too. I believed that the offensive line depth was going to be good for some reason, that we had something. This year, I think I'm more and I really think it's just because of the incredible coaching staff that they put together that I can have more faith, even if the names weren't as big as they are, or because these are some better names that we're bringing in, man. Which the Bears usually do that about 2 years after the guy's done.
Exactly. All Chicago teams do.
Not in his prime or somebody wasting on him. I really just like checking and exploring every option. That's what I love about Poles, man. He's always searching, always looking, always trying to improve this team. And I don't see how Dennis Allen and Ben Johnson and Biagimi and all these guys can't help go with that same flow. We're always just going to try and improve the team. I hope that money doesn't get in the way of any of this, because I really want to see what happens with the running back room. I'm big on Manon guy, and I'm still a Roshan guy. I have been since we drafted him. I think that the first downs, and I know Swift is the money man, but I just keep going. I'm like, man, put in one of these guys and run for 3 yards up the left, between the left guard and the tackle for once.
Well, let me interrupt you a second, Foster, because we're going to talk about the running backs and the offense. Let me just finish with the defense here. This is Dennis Allen talking about the depth chart.
Look, I look at the depth chart right now as just a starting spot. I really don't look at it as anything that's set in any sort of concrete or anything like that. You'll see throughout the course of training camp, you'll see some guys that get kind of moved around, switched around. Sometimes we might want to see a guy that's been running with the twos. We might want to see him against the ones, just to see maybe against a little bit better competition how they respond. And so I just think that's just part of what we do within the course of training camp.
He's got it covered. We were just talking about the depth of this team, and so when you got guys who, are at two, you're definitely going to want to see him with the ones. And so the cornerback that we've mentioned and other position players on the defense, they're going to get their shot. PJ, again, you're doing some coaching. you gotta really be impressed with how Dennis Allen comports himself, how he's got these guys fired up to do the 40s, and he's building this chemistry. Tell me your thoughts.
Well, it's always concerning for me whenever a new coach comes in because he wants to get his guy in, and that may stunt or even prevent the growth of a player like a Terrell Smith.
Yeah.
Because, Al Harris gets his guy from Dallas in there, and they say, well, Terrell Smith, you're the odd man out. So do I really want to risk that for a guy who's basically a journeyman, being in the league for 4 years, 2 different teams, now his 3rd team,
Great
as
point.
opposed to a guy who we're developing and we're building? And that's what I think happens sometimes. And that's why I'm always leery of when a new coaching staff comes in. Man, let's get our guys in and push this young developing guy out.
Yeah. So yeah, the key to that is that you got fair-minded new coaches who are going to look at the talent that has been here and evaluate them fairly in the same way you're evaluating new talent. J2K is wondering what we guys think about Terrell Smith. Is his job in jeopardy with the Chicago Bears? What do you think, Zim?
Well, my issue with that line of thinking is, first of all, this is the 2nd day of practice.
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, the 2 guys ahead of Nahshon Wright, according to our lads, which is, as Aldo has pointed out in the past, a pretty decent gauge of the current depth chart.
Yep.
The 2 guys ahead of Nahshon Wright on the depth chart are both injured right now in Jaylen Johnson and Zay Frazier. They are literally the only 2 players not at camp right now. So with all that in consideration, Terrell Smith plays the other position. He plays behind Tyreek Stevenson. And while, yeah, they're still outside corners, it should be an interchangeable position. Some teams don't view their depth chart that way. They view it as, your right side and your left side corner. And I don't know if that's exactly how Dennis Allen runs his schemes. To be honest, I can't think of a single lockdown corner that Dennis Allen has had in his time as a defensive coordinator, aside from maybe Marshawn Lattimore, his first couple seasons in the league.
Lattimore, yeah.
But again, Lattimore was more of a flash in the pan kind of guy. He's not even in New Orleans anymore. I think he's out in Washington now.
Yes, right.
So to me, it's more of a Nahshon Wright taking advantage of an opportunity and less of other people being in danger of their jobs, i.e. Terrell Smith, Tyreek Stevenson, Zay Frazier. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Foster.
First I'm gonna step back to the coaching because you showed that last interview with Allen. So I sure hope that he takes these 2nd, 3rd, 4th string guys and puts them in with 1st round talent, because how can you get a good picture of a guy if he's playing with lesser talent? You want him to be playing with the better talent. So I just wanted to cover that. And then the coaches too. And I asked myself this question in life, but I think these coaches should ask it when we talk about bringing in their guy. So the coaches should be asking themselves, okay, so how important is this that I bring this guy in, and what are my motives for bringing him in? And if he answers that question honestly and say, okay, I think this guy is actually going to be one of our roster guys, and nobody knows it yet. As long as he's being honest with himself, and again, it's what are his motives in for bringing this person in, or maybe he won't make the roster, but I like the guy. I know he can't do anything but help this team, even if we have to cut him, because it is a business at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
So, that to me, that has to be understood. I'm hoping these coaches are thinking the same way I'm thinking. If my thinking is any good here, but I think on this note, with how important is it and what are my motives, I think those are questions that you can use those every day in life, man. Those 2 questions with situations you face.
Yep.
So go ahead.
I was just going to say, one of the things that I'm hoping that this defense is going to do in 2025, Dennis Allen's first year with the Bears, is turn the ball over. So I just out of curiosity, I went and checked out what was, for the last 3 years, what was Dennis Allen's turnover rate with the Chicago Bears, with the New Orleans Saints? What was the Chicago Bears turnover rate, and what was the average for the NFL? So I got the numbers and I put it into a chart form, and the Bears under Matt Eberflus were pretty damn good. They in 2022, Dennis Allen's defense got only 14 turnovers. The Bears, on the other hand, got 23, and the NFL average was 23. There's some so I'm rounding up or down. But and then the following year, 2023, Dennis Allen's defense almost led the league in turnovers, and the Bears weren't far behind, and the NFL, they both exceeded the NFL average. And then in 2024, last season, despite all the bullshit that went on with the defense, the Bears had 24 turnovers. The NFL average was 21, and the Saints were closer to 15. So I was like a little bit discouraged. But I'm hearing you guys talk about the talent that he had in New Orleans, and that is probably the explanation for that. If anybody has a better one, I'm all ears, because I'm trying to look at things through rose-colored glasses here. So anybody have a thought about turnovers? And I'm looking in the chat to see if somebody wants to chime in on that whole thing.
Well, it seems like I know Eberflus tends to preach more turnovers than Allen does, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much of an emphasis he places on it. And I think Allen just personally got stale in New Orleans. It was just time. So his message wasn't being received as much. It was just time for him to go.
Yeah.
So maybe he can have a revitalization here in Chicago.
Yeah, the fact is, when I've read about Dennis Allen, is that he is much better as a defensive coordinator than he is as a head coach.
Yes.
And we've seen that many, many, many times. Vic Fangio, Buddy Ryan,
Matt Eberflus.
Matt Eberflus, exactly.
Matt Eberflus. I think some people would even argue that as a defensive coordinator, he wasn't all that hot. He certainly wasn't Buddy Ryan or Vic Fangio, that's for sure. Good, but not in that league. I mean, did you guys get a chance to see the Indianapolis Colts throwing bombs at Eberflus for the way those players, those Colts linebackers, were coached by Eberflus? They claimed that he was dishonest, that he wouldn't let them prepare correctly, and so on. And they had no motivation to say that, other than I think they were just getting shit off their chests. So
yeah, but he also had Shaq Leonard and Rocky Ya-Sin looking like Pro Bowl candidates.
That's true.
So there's something to be said for all that.
Yeah, it's true.
I think with Dennis Allen, though, I mean, to his credit, the 2 times that he was a defensive coordinator led to him getting a coaching job.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, there's no doubt he's a great defensive coordinator. No doubt about it.
He's probably a good head coach at this point. He probably, with all the trials and tribulations that he went through, he's probably learned enough to someday, at some point again, be a head coach, because he's been through all the fires. Yep. Starting with this. So if you go back and look, when Breeze left and what's his name, my guy in Denver that I can't stand because he's a Chicago and he won't come back to the Bears.
So who are you talking about? Oh, I know who you're talking about. Go ahead.
The head coach of the Broncos, what's his name?
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton, former coach. Okay, so that team, when that all broke up, that team was they probably are still in salary cap hell.
Yeah.
They most certainly are.
See, they had 3 or 4, maybe 5 years now of just.
Is that a
So what did he have to work with there last year? And I think we brought that up. Point 2. And then, like I said, he's been through all the fires. I have total confidence that he'll run this defense as good or better than Flus did. With the quality of players being available on the field too. I mean, that's another thing.
That's big.
So that's big. You can't do it without both. You got to have both. We've seen it for decades. You've got to have both.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm high on Allen though. I'm high on him, man.
My excitement for Allen is to see what he does with the defensive line, because he always had good lines down in New Orleans, and it's probably the weakest spot on this team, but not for lack of talent or money spent. So that's where I'm curious to see, like, okay, was Cam Jordan really just like that freakishly good? Because personally, I don't believe that he was. I feel that he was a very good player, not elite, but very good, you know, definitely top 5 to 10 at his position year in and year out. But was that because of Dennis Allen, or did Dennis Allen look better because of Cam? You know, it's a chicken or the egg sort of thing with Cam Jordan and Dennis Allen to me, because Cam Jordan was good, but he was great under Dennis Allen.
Yeah, it's an interesting point.
Well, I think when you look at Dennis Allen, you look at his history with defensive ends. You go back to Von Miller in Denver, go to Khalil Mack in with the Raiders. Then you go to Hendrickson as well as Cam Jordan with the Saints. I think that he, first of all, gets good talent there. But my question with our current team is, do we have a high sack guy? Because
there's
Montez Sweat.
He's always been around 8, 9, 10 sacks in his entire career. Yeah.
Montez Sweat showed those flashes. He showed those flashes out in Washington.
Yeah, but he never really got over 8, I believe. He never really got over 8.
Well, he wasn't their primary pass rusher. Chase Young was, right? He was more of a seal the edge kind of guy out there.
Exactly.
And with the Bears, you know, I don't know exactly what it was there, because I don't know defensive line well enough to look at these sorts of things. I know the backfield, the defensive backfield. I don't know the line well enough to look at these things. So that's why, you know, that's my weak spot in analysis. But he, I feel, was improperly utilized last year. He was rushing in obvious rush situations. He was dropping into coverage in obvious coverage situations.
And he was hurt.
Montez. And he was not 100% for a significant part of the season. So with all that factored in, but I'm kind of tired of using the hurt thing as an excuse. You know, like, we've done it for decades with the Bears. You know, literally my entire lifetime as a Bears fan. Keep in mind, I'm a recent Bears fan compared to you guys, but you know, my first real season watching this team was like 2004.
What's he trying to say, Foster?
I'm trying to say that you guys have had
lucky. He's lucky.
Exactly.
I'm up for the 60s and the 70s and all
I'm trying to say you guys have suffered a lot more than I have. All right. That's what I'm trying to say. But at the end of the day, through these 20 some odd years, 21, 22 years I've spent as a Bears fan, I feel like I've always heard, well, if Mark Anderson's healthy, well, if Adonijah can be healthy, well, if Mack was really healthy, well, if Peppers was really healthy, well, if Sweat was really healthy, like, what the fuck? Can we just get a healthy defensive end? Can we stop making excuses for these guys? Every year, players have to play hurt.
Depth is always a problem.
And that's always probably the most valid point out of it, is that depth is the problem. But at the same time, like, why are these guys always hurt? Is it because we bring in one good pass rusher and say, all right, bud, that's it. That's your problem now. Like,
it's all you get.
Yeah,
I think better make the most of it.
I think part of the issue is for Sweat, in my opinion, although he has the measurables, I don't know if he's a number 1 pass rusher. I think he's always more of the Robin to someone else being the Batman.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair to say.
I don't even know if Dio.
And that's exactly what I was about to bring up to ask you specifically, PJ, is Dio, do they now have 2 Robins? Like, and can Robin and Robin exist together, or is one of them going to step up and be Nightwing here?
And you're right. And that's what I wanted the same thing, because I see that, you know, Dio seemed like he got his best pass rushes when he was playing the 3 technique, not coming from the edge. He got his most pressure and sacks when he was playing the 3 technique in Indy. And me personally, that's why I'm kind of hoping that the Bears make a deal with Cincy and get that Stewart, because I think Stewart has the talent to be a number 1.
Nope.
To offer you something different than what Sweat and maybe Dio offers you. Now, given the circumstance, you know, he might go back to college. You can get little bit of maybe a lesser value for him. Give up a second and a third, not just a one. So I'm on that train.
Red Truth 9 says Sweat to me doesn't have the bend, and to me he doesn't have a pass rush arsenal to overcome that lack of flexibility. He is a big, tall guy, and it's sometimes very, very difficult to get that body to fold the way you'd love to see a defensive end.
Robert Quinn was special with it, man. He had that length and that bend. If only he was 5 years younger,
and played every odd year, was it? Because he literally looked at his entire career, man.
Yeah.
Every other year. His entire career. Just weird.
Yeah.
His bend was phenomenal. Quinn. His bend was phenomenal. He should have had more than he had.
Absolutely. The one thing that we can tell.
I was just gonna say real quick, although with
please,
Sweat,
please.
I see with the right talent and coaching around him, I see him as a 12 to 15 sack guy. And he's proven that. Didn't he get 12? Didn't he get 6 and 6?
Yeah, he was, I think, the only player in NFL history to lead two different teams in sacks. He had the most sacks for the Commanders and the most sacks for the Bears.
6.5 and 6. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So I agree with you, Foster. A lot depends on so many other factors, right? You get the inside pass rush, and he's going to pick up 3-4 sacks just that way. Yeah. Quarterbacks running away from that inside pass rush and running right into him. He also, one of the best sacks that I saw in recent years for any Chicago Bears defensive lineman was that sack that he had against Jared Goff when Goff was running towards the sideline. He just ran in and grabbed him by the jersey, put him down. I think that was his first sack as a Chicago Bear, if I remember correctly. So he can do some things that I wouldn't be shocked if he had a career high sacks with the Bears.
Right. And just to take a totally crazy allegory here, but PJ, you brought it up in my mind, and I kind of just went down a quick rabbit hole while y'all were talking. But look, Dick Grayson is probably the most famous Robin there was out there, right? Dick Grayson was Robin to Bruce Wayne's Batman for a long time. And who did Dick Grayson become but Nightwing, his own superhero parallel to Batman? And when Batman died, because in some universes Batman died, who took over that spot? Who carried Gotham but Dick Grayson, becoming Batman after all of it, right? So Dick Grayson went from Robin to Batman and took Bruce's son and made him the new Robin. And for this whole allegory to make sense, all I'm trying to say is sometimes in some universes, Robin becomes Batman and finds his own new Robin to help him out. So it's a whole long allegory to simply say, maybe with the right help and the right circumstances and the perfect situation in this universe, Montez Sweat can step up and be that number one guy because he's now in the position that he wasn't in before, where he can truly succeed and excel. It's kind of a long walk for a short drink of water here, but I'm just being hopeful. I'm being optimistic. I'm taking the meatball stance today. I shut down the meatballs a lot on this show, and on other times I go so far off the meatball deep end that y'all might as well cover me in marinara sauce and lick me instead. So
no way.
Yeah, I just think. Excuse me, Aldo. I'm sorry.
No, please.
I just think that with Sweat, because I think you was the one mentioning it, Zim, that because of his lack of bend, I don't know if he could be that consistent edge rush guy because you need that speed guy coming off the edge. And that's
so valid. It's so valid.
And that's why I'm like, I don't know if he can be that guy. So
but he's long and strong. And like Cam Jordan wasn't really that fast. He was long and strong and he was successful under Dennis Allen. And Dio is fast and long, so like maybe between the two of them in these certain situations, these guys might be able to figure out some kind of balance between the two of them, where maybe neither one of them has to be Batman. They can be Nightwing and Red X. The two Robin spinoffs that we got in the DC universe.
Red Hood.
Well, Red Hood was a third. Yeah, Red Hood was another one. Yeah, that's fair. No, I'm thinking Red X from the Teen Titans Slade series. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Red Hood was another great one. Actually,
I'd like
That
to
was
see a
wonderful
Batman.
storyline.
I'd like to see a Batman and Robin at the tackle positions. That'll make everybody better.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I
Wouldn't
mean,
it?
so look what happened when Billings went down last year. What happened against the run? And Billings,
Dramatic change.
Yes.
I was really hoping that we drafted Grant and plugged him in ahead of Billings, and Billings was his backup, because I just thought that would change the whole concept of the defense with one freaking player, because we don't have it consistently.
I agree with that. Let's start talking about the offense, but one last clip I want to play regarding the defense, and it is clear that the mentality and the culture of this Bears defense, and really the entire team, because it's just not Dennis Allen, it's the head coach, Ben Johnson, who is preaching to this team lofty goals, and Bayard stated this as his first goal.
We're trying to win the Super Bowl. I think Brish said it in an interview when he was doing his training camp, but it was true. Ben Johnson wants to build a dynasty, and we want to be that dynasty. We want to be the guys that kind of get this thing started. Myself want to be one of the guys that kind of build the foundation of that and continue to go as long as we possibly can. So that's the goal. But like I said, man, we have a long way to go to be able to accomplish that.
I love what gets this is. Honestly, we need Batman and Batman. Fuck Robin. I love it, Gets.
As long as it ain't Bateman. I don't know if anybody's seen the commercials.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh God,
No, man.
Wait, they're fabulous. It's Jason Bateman in his little outfit, and Catwoman comes up and he's like, "All right, now you cut that out." And she kicks him in the face.
I haven't seen that.
And then it goes, when you need Batman and you got stuck with Bateman. He's just totally getting abused. And he's on his scooter in another one, putting along, and Batman goes flying by, but they're both going to the same crime scene. Allstate commercials. They're funny. They're hilarious.
Yeah, they are.
When you need Batman and you get stuck with Bateman, it ain't going to be a good day.
At all.
It's why they got to cut Ryan Bates, you know?
All right, let's turn our attention over to the offense. Cole Kmet.
Do we have to?
Yes, we have to. Now, first of all, just before I play any clips, are we all in agreement here that when we read from people who are at practice and say Caleb threw an interception on his first throw, the offense is I saw this one from our friends over at CHGO saying that the offense has a long way to go. It's like, yeah, come on. Do you really, really believe that this offense was going to step off the bus and on the first day was going to outperform the defense? That hardly happens with any NFL team, much less a team with a second-year quarterback, a new head coach, a new offensive system, new players on the offensive line. Come on, this is going to take weeks for it to slowly build up. And if anybody has been following these press conferences from Ben Johnson and people who play on offense, they all realize we're ramping shit up. This is not a fucking Super Bowl team coming off the bus for the first day of practice. We all agree on that, right?
Right.
Of course.
Thank you.
No, they're just doing their jobs. All right. And that's what it comes down to, because their job is to drive engagement. It's no longer to report on what's happening, and it is now to drive engagement, because clicks get follow through, and follow through gets engagement, and that engagement drives ad revenue, and ad revenue is what keeps them alive. Look, we can be as upset as we want for the Chicago Bears media reporting on these things, but I saw two things today that made me really happy. And tell me what your reactions are to this. The first one, Aaron Rodgers' first pass of 11 on 11s. Yeah, Aldo's already smiling because he knows what's coming. And this is a proof. Thank you very much for proving my point that this is these guys' jobs and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. But Aaron Rodgers' first pass of 11 on 11 team drills today was a pick six.
Mm-hmm.
I would be willing to suck Aaron Rodgers' dick.
It's called practice.
Take it easy, Dan Aguirre. Go ahead.
But the mood just kind of improved a little bit when I said that. Didn't
Sure
it?
did.
Like, and here's the second one: is Jordan Love was airmailing passes left and right today in Packers practice. I can't even think of their fucking name. I hate her so much. In Packers practice, I was about to say Green Bay, and you know I got to be careful because I've been watching some videos about Wisconsin lately, and let me just say, like, it's kind of pretty up there. All right,
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It's kind of a nice place to visit.
It really
Boss
is.
knows all about that.
I wish I
I
was
hate
there every day it was hot here in Chicago because I would have been there like for 3 weeks.
I hate that I'm
Sweat
starting
my
to gain
ass
that
off.
opinion as I get older, but that's part of getting older, right? Is that you have to admit that some things that you held as hard truths when you were younger are a little more flexible than you initially realized.
Yeah, but you can separate the team and the fans from the geography
Exactly.
and the beauty. So,
So
I am with you, man.
At any rate, my point to back this all up is just that, yeah, we can be frustrated with this media as much as we want for reporting on all the negative shit and talking about how, all they're doing is shitting on Caleb Williams because, he's not playing well right now. And that's fine. And we're okay with that as fans because we have half a brain in our head, and that's cool. For educated fans like the four of us here and those watching the chat room right now and those listening on the podcast later, that's cool.
Yep.
It is what it is. He's learning. It's his first year in a new offense, his second year in the NFL. He's got a brand new coach. He's got at least one brand new wide receiver. I think everybody beyond his top two wide receivers is brand new to him, right? So, of course, he's going to be struggling. And his third weapon in his backup or second string or whatever you want to call it, tight end, is also a little bit of a new experience for him. So the media is doing their thing. They're driving their engagement. He's going to struggle. He's going to have troubles. That's exactly what this time period is for. We all defended Mitchell Trubisky. We all defended Justin Fields. Why the hell aren't we defending Caleb Williams?
I totally agree with you. And yesterday or the day before yesterday, when he had his press conference and I noticed that his nails were painted blue, I was like, oh, here they come. Everybody's going to be talking shit about his, can't grow the fuck up. These are different days. It's all about fashion, expressing yourself. Don't go off and hate on our quarterback just because he's got his nails polished. Give that a break. All right. I want to talk offense, but right now the primary topic isn't so much the offense as it is that how the offense is being coached, and this is Cole Kmet on that.
Just the feeling I get from my position coach Jim, and I know that's coming from Ben, kind of setting the tone with those guys upstairs, and you feel that from Declan kind of leading the offense as well, and then obviously from Ben himself. But no detail goes unnoticed, and despite the result that might happen, you may catch a ball and it might be a big play in practice, but he's harping on the detail of your alignment's off or your steps are off here, and even though we got the result right, we didn't do it the right way at times, and those are the details that you need to hear. And you can't be result driven all the time, especially this time of the year in training camp. You really got to be detail driven, and Ben's all about the details, and you feel that in every meeting.
All of you guys have played sports, coach or coach sports, or both, and I coached a flag football team for 3-4 years, and that's what I try to harp on the guys. It's about these little details. I know you guys, and I had them do the up downs and the burpees and all that shit. They fucking hated my guts, but what I was trying to, and I told these guys when they first joined the team, you're not just joining a flag football team, you're joining a health club. You're going to get in fucking shape before our first game in 2 or 3 weeks. And they were all like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm all. And then they're fucking doing the exercises. And they're like, fuck you, Aldo, I ain't going to do that. I got to go to work tomorrow. That kind of shit. But my point is this team is being coached in a way that I haven't heard since the Ditka days. I mean, even I know that all of the teams have been coached to get in shape and so forth, Lovey's teams and so forth. But it was Ditka that made that culture in Chicago known. If you're not going to fucking work out and work hard, Ricky Watts, I'm taking your shit out of the locker and I'm throwing it out in the parking lot. And I love that. I love that. It's, in my DNA. That's the only way I've seen success with the Bears. It's having a coach with the balls to get on people's asses, and this is not just happening with the head coach, it's happening throughout position coaches, as Coach Kmet just said, et cetera, et cetera. You guys have to be pleased with that, right?
100%. I think that's crucial because you have to set the standard now. Once the standard becomes the standard is the standard. And
exactly.
Like I agree with what Kmet said 100%. Right now it's not about the win losses per se. It's more about getting the details right, because the details is what's going to carry you. And I think that's what Nagy's problem was. Nagy got to thinking about these trick plays instead of basic execution. You get the basic execution down pat.
There you go.
Then you can do the other things off of that. But what he did was just did the other things off of that and never developed the true execution of a play.
I love that thinking. Absolutely. Foster, I see you nodding in agreement. You want to add anything to that?
No, just getting the.
Get the fuck out! Everybody out! Everybody out! Sorry, I accidentally hit that button. That was an accident. Everybody is okay.
Jeff Willis popped into the chat right when you did that.
That just gave me an idea. I'm gonna have that sound effect and like a graphic saying emergency, the Green Bay Packers really suck cock or some shit like that. I don't know. So I'll come up with something better than that. Anyway, go ahead, Foster. I'm not rude. I just have the balls to say what everyone else is thinking. Well done.
So, details are critical. The first coach I had was a priest, man. And you talk about somebody very detailed.
Oh, yeah.
We went 14-0 that year, and this is in grammar school. We were playing, that's 1977. We played 14 games. That's what the NFL played.
Yeah.
But every play, every detail of every play, these guys, there's 35 guys on that team, and they're not only them, the guy behind them knew every detail of every play.
That's the way it should be.
Right. And then this was the other thing. And PJ, it's July and August. What's our word? Continuity. Because if you don't have your details correct and you don't practice together and play together enough, you're not going to have the continuity to go out there on the field and put it all together. 100%. So I mean, it's the two things we've always talked about for the last 3 years. It really looks like we've got the right coaches in place, and the talent has been slowly coming along.
Love it.
It's now do what you're talking about and just fucking win. Just win. I love that the coach was talking about we want to build a dynasty here with Coach Johnson.
Oh my gosh!
Because I mean, did Flus use that word?
No, the words they use was a sustained success.
Yes.
Which is something out of a corporate handbook.
Give me a damn dynasty.
Yeah. That's another topic I want to talk about, but we'll save that for another time. Ryan Poles, reading books about leadership. What the fuck? I understand because I'm about trying to get better, and books are a good way to get better and so forth. But don't fucking advertise that.
Just do it.
You're basically advertising. I wasn't ready for this job. I'm still learning on the job. Don't do that, please.
Do they have a general manager for dummies book?
No,
but for everything else.
Well, going back to Nagy real quick, if you remember, there was reports about him saying how he would install a play, have them do a walkthrough, and that was it.
Yeah.
They never repped it or anything. So that's why hearing what Ben Johnson is doing, okay, let's rep this. Oh, you didn't come out the huddle the right way. You guys didn't line up the right way. Those things need to be coached and worked through, and you just can't do that by just doing a walkthrough. And that's why when Nagy got on the field after that first year, the players got on the field under Nagy, and you saw the lack of detail. You saw the lack of being prepared because all they did was a walkthrough. And whereas Ben Johnson, he's actually having a weapon. And that's why I'm so in favor of what he's doing. I'm like, man, I applaud it. I truly applaud what he's doing.
I love that, man. Like, yeah, he pulled the first team off the field because they weren't lining up correctly. And he's, imagine that locker room afterwards. They probably, practice is done. They all go talk to the media. They all go home afterwards, right? The next morning he comes in, he goes, first team, why'd you get pulled off the field? Well, we couldn't line up right. Did second team get lined up right? Yeah. And that's why they got the reps. All right. You want your reps? Earn them.
There you
That's
go.
it. All right. Let's get on the field. Let's do our shit right today. All right, boys, this isn't going to be a problem as long as you don't make it one. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's that simple. Like, it's the same thing I do at work. I'm in a managerial position again. You have to find a way to put people in their best position to succeed. And the number one way to do it is to find a way to motivate them. Some people are motivated differently, right? And you got to know your people. And I feel like Ben Johnson has figured that out, right? He knows. And I feel like we look into it too much as fans when he says the people that, oh, well, these are the guys that stood out to me the most in camp. And these are the guys that need work right now. He's not naming the 4 guys that were actually the best in his head. He's naming the 4 guys that will benefit the most from that praise. Right? Not naming the 4 guys that he really thinks the most improvement. He's naming the 4 guys that are going to benefit from being called the fuck out and being told they need to step up.
Love it.
And again, it all goes back to the thing that we've all been preaching for, we've all been asking for, we've all been acknowledging that is happening, is this accountability. And it's just happening in a way that we're not used to seeing because there is such a lack of accountability in this organization. Money is just pissed away and expected to come with results. And you don't just get to spend money and have results. That's not how it works, period, point blank. The way you get it is by demanding accountability out of your people. And it's why good companies lose good people all the time and why good football teams lose good players all the time. Tell me that Kirk Cousins wouldn't still be in Minnesota if there wasn't a little more accountability from both sides there.
Great point. Great point. Hey, before I forget, Dan Brown, who you see his comment here, some need praise, some need a kick in the butt. He is been a longtime follower here in the Barroom Network, and he's doing some writing over at NFLDraftScouts.com. If you go there now or after the show, NFLDraftScouts.com, you will see an article he wrote about the 5 things that the Bears need to do in training camp. And I urge you to read it, and I also urge you to follow him on X. He's at Blackhawks Dan, so clearly he's a Blackhawks fan. BLACK Hawks Dan, Blackhawks Dan. Follow him and follow his work on his Draft Scout. We love to promote the work of people getting into this industry, and we love to hear their voices, love to hear their thoughts. And Dan is doing it one way that I love to see it done on with the written word. I'm just worried about the future generations. They're not going to learn how to read. It's like, AI, read that to me. It's like, but that's a topic for another day. All right, I got another soundbite to play, and this is from DeAndre Swift, because there's been this, growing concern that one of the weak spots for the Chicago Bears is going to be the run game. And Ben Johnson, when he was asked about that in a different way, he was asked generically what he thought about the run game, the running back room. He said, they're getting it, but we won't know until they're getting the pass. All fair enough. But DeAndre Swift was asked, how long is it going to take once you guys are in pads? How long is it going to take for you guys to gel?
Next couple of weeks, as soon as we get pads on first couple of days, I know everybody going to be excited and things like that. But just to get the timing with them guys and how they work their combos and things they got to work through, and us being on time with them and our landmarks and our cut-ups and things like that, definitely take time, take reps.
It's going to take time. It's going to take reps. And I love to hear that from that. There isn't this expectation like a lot of us fans have that they should be busting 40-yard runs, from the get-go. It's going to take some time. And really, what we're seeing now, or what we're hearing about what other people are seeing, is not legit. This is not pads. PJ, you know, football is played with pads. Football is played with hitting, you know, at least 80%. Now they're not hitting at all, you know. So that's where we are, you know. What do you guys think about this running back room? What concerns do you have? PJ, start with you.
I don't know. I just always wonder, what is Ben Johnson really thinking about Swift? Does he really want him here? Or is he looking for an opportunity to get rid of him like he did?
Interesting. Yeah, that's a storyline for sure.
I really wonder that. And I think, well, of course, I think they like one guy. That's why they drafted him. But and if Swift is not really his guy, are we going to see in our speed packages DJ Moore, Odunze, Burden, and the two tight ends, as opposed to having Swift back there? So I just wonder, where does Swift really fit in his plan? I don't have a lot to go on other than, because he got rid of him, is he really his guy? I'm really wondering that.
What do you think, Zim? This is a great topic. I'm anxious to hear what you guys think. And by the way, I got the website wrong. It's NFL Draft Diamonds that Dan Brown is working. I got it confused with the different website. NFL Draft Diamonds, and make sure you are following Dan Brown on X. It is at Blackhawks Dan. All right, Zim, what do you got?
Now, Foster, take it away. I'm not going to lie. I got distracted by a conversation in the chat for a moment.
And Zim, just so you know, I'm asking about your thoughts in general about the running back room. Foster,
right?
Okay. So we'll go to Swift, because PJ we've been talking about this since we got Swift, or since Johnson was named head coach, I should say. And my side of this is, and this is, again, this is what I think. And my dad always told me this. He goes, son, you shouldn't believe everything that you think. So before I say something I think, I might not be thinking right. But so did Ben Johnson get rid of him? Did Ben Johnson ask to draft come on, who's the what's his name?
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Gibbs. I couldn't remember Gibbs. So did Ben Johnson do these, or was this a general manager thing with the head coach? I don't know. But I asked those questions. From my understanding, what I've read and heard, again, this is what I've read and heard, was that Johnson was all intent with working with Swift and Montgomery in the backfield. No problem with it. But the opportunity arose to where they could get Gibbs, and they made that choice. So I'm not saying that. I'm not going to say he's not his guy. I'm not going to say he is his guy. But I certainly think that Johnson, just like with Caleb, he's going to put everybody in the right position to use their strong points. Because we know Swift is not the guy to be running inside 3 times every series. He's not the guy that's going to do that. You know, that's one of the things I was like, man, I'd like to see it later in the year. I was going, I'd like to see Roschon out there on first down, man, instead of seeing Swift, because Swift is going to run to the left or the right for a half a yard. Just again, these are thoughts. Man. So I'd like to see it be more involved, but again, here, realistically, in my mind, Swift is a placeholder. He's a temporary fix for a problem that we've had.
He's on the last year of his contract, and so if he's going to re-sign it all, he has to have a huge Barkley type season. There's no doubt.
Well, he has one more year.
He has one more year after this year, but isn't there a contract out that makes it, a little
guaranteed money is at the end of this year.
There you go. And that's the big thing.
I mean, 3-4 million or something. I don't remember. We went through this. I'm one of the chosen.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot easier to get rid of him after this season. And then before you share your thoughts, I want to share regarding the running back position. Ben Johnson told Hogan Johns, I believe it was on or CHGO, an interview that Hogue had with Ben Johnson at the combine. They were outside and so forth. And Hogue asked him about drafting Gibbs so early in the first round, and he said we didn't do that on purpose. It wasn't like we were eyeing him. We had a list of offensive weapons, and when he became available, he was a number one guy as an offensive weapon. We said we got to grab him, even though a lot of people are going to say we drafted him too early and so forth. He was part of the list of people they had as offensive weapons. And I think that's what happened this year. They wanted Travion Henderson. That's the narrative, at least that the media has put out. They wanted Travion Henderson. And when he was drafted, the next offensive weapon that was available was a wide receiver, Luther Burden. And I don't think they're going to regret that at all. Because with Burden, all you got to do is get the ball in his hands. They say that these short little lateral passes to wide receivers are an extension of the running game. Well, Luther Burden could potentially be the highest yard gainer of all the running backs. And because he's going to get a lot of carries. If the injuries aren't an issue or anything like that, he's going to get a lot of carries, and he's going to also be lined up in the traditional backfield and get carries and touch the ball that way. What do you think, Zim?
Yeah, Luther Burden is what they thought Velus Jones was.
Thank you.
And that's like the most basic way I can put it for Bears fans who live in a bubble and don't understand, because for some reason I run into those people all the time. But on an NFL level perspective, he's Deebo Samuel, like prime Deebo Samuel, not current Deebo Samuel, who's on the Washington Commanders and probably not going to produce very well this season, if we're being honest. But no, to go back to this whole thing with the running back room and all of that, I think that the Bears running backs room is going to surprise a lot of people. I really do. I really think that if they were more concerned with the running back room, they would have either signed somebody, made the move for Janty, or made the move for Henderson, right? They didn't do any of those things because they basically said, well, our room is good, but could it be better, right? And the proof is in the pudding with that, because who here was thinking they were going to draft a wide receiver in round 2? Like they said, our room is good, but it could be better with this player. Right? It's the same thing. Their tight end room, it's good, but it could be better with this player. And that's the entire philosophy behind this team. This philosophy is not about where do we need to improve? Where are we lacking on our roster? Who isn't good? No, it's about building a positive culture, building a way to reinforce your team, building confidence in the guys that you've got so that they perform at their highest level. Because let's be honest, how many of us have been at work and been sitting there like, man, I really know I'm fucking off today, and my boss knows I'm fucking off too, and we all know I'm not going to be very productive today because what's the fucking point, right? Like, how is that any different for an NFL player?
I never thought about it that way. Thank you.
Thank you.
How is this any was just Fridays, Zim?
What's that?
Was that Foster?
I sort of thought that was just Friday.
Yeah, right.
That's right.
But think about who Doug Kramer coming in last year. Tell me he wasn't thinking like, man, I've really been playing shitty this year, and these guys know it. But at least I'm getting paid.
Exactly.
Like, it's not to take shots at anybody. It's just to say that we all get complacent sooner or later, right?
I'm crying.
So why not continue to motivate? Why not continue to do better? Why not continue to try to dig deep within these guys and like create something better from what you've already got? So it's a problem we've all run into in our workplace. And at the end of the day, that's what the Chicago Bears are. They're just a very public workplace. Okay. So when you consider it in that regard, like, it really comes down to performance and motivation,
That's
because
what she said.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I saw somebody pointed out in the chat room earlier when I talked about Montez Sweat. I said long and strong, and I was like, damn, we should call him Blue Chew from now on.
That's right. Blue Chew, do you hear us?
Blue Chew Sweat. All right. But at any rate, it's all about getting the most performance out of what you've got. The Bears are totally happy with their running back room. If you're watching the videos and the highlights, Roshan Johnson is showing better balance than he had last year, which might have been the worst part of his game, to be completely honest. He was strong, but did not have contact balance. So he's got a little more contact balance potentially. Well, that can pay off in game situations. DeAndre Swift, his footwork, man. I don't know if you've seen the little videos they're putting out. His footwork's there. If it's a matter of vision for him, then maybe this new offense works, because a lot of people don't realize that like blocking systems are just like passing systems, where, you know, when you change something that doesn't seem major, it really actually is a big deal for some of these backs. So for Swift coming from these power style blocking systems going into like a zone style blocking system that they were in last year. At least that's my understanding as somebody who doesn't know the trenches very well. It's a lot more of a different read, maybe not more of a difficult read, but if you're not used to making that read, you might be assuming that a zone that you know, your A gap is going to open when in reality your B gap is what's opening, or so on and so forth. Because when you're anticipating guys to move a specific direction and they move a different direction, holes that seem like they're there are going to be completely closed up by the time you get there in that 1 to 2 steps. So all I have to say, you know, to wrap this all up is just these guys are promising. It sounds like there's a lot of questions about who's actually the fastest, which is kind of exciting to think about. Like, because I thought these guys were pretty quick to begin with, and now they're like, we're not sure who's faster here. This is pretty sick. And that tells me that they're explosive, and explosiveness is what gets you more results in the run game than speed or swiftness, you know.
I asked people in the chat, and I want to ask you guys, who is going to make the team at the running back position? J2K was first to answer. DeAndre Swift, Roshan Johnson, Kyle Manange, and Travis Homer. I think he nailed it right there. Swift, of course, is the #1 back and could have his best season as an NFL player. I really believe that can happen with him. You need Roshan because of what he can do in between the tackles, and even though he was injured last season, we saw that he was a good short yardage and goal line back. Manangai, he is definitely a guy who is the wild card. This guy could steal the #1 job, you know, but he's got a lot to learn. And he's, you know, if he does steal the #1 job, it's not going to happen in game 1, I don't think, but it could happen later in the season. And then Travis Homer, he's a special teams ace. You know, he only loses this. Now, he only loses this, in my opinion, is if Ian Wheeler proves that he can play that special teams gunner, that he can do those dirty things that Homer does. That's the only way. I'm still keeping my eyes on Ian Wheeler. And that wasn't so much to begin with, but something that was said about how fast Wheeler is. I forgot where I saw it today, but the guy has speed. We know how well he ran kickoffs in college. We saw how well his preseason was last year. Wheeler's a dark horse to make this team, but he could overcome Homer. I don't think he's going to overcome Swift, Roshan, and Manangai. What do you guys think?
The minute I was reading it as they were listening, so J2K is who I agreed with immediately. I just don't see any. I don't see any other way that being, man. I just don't.
Yeah,
I mean, those were the immediately 4 guys, man.
Yeah,
yeah. I agree with the list too, 100%.
I love Manangai. I think he's gonna be more than we think, and I still really like Roshan. I do. That's why, Steve, when you were saying it, that they didn't go out of the way. See, my guy was like, okay, so they missed Henderson, but then who jumped up and took Quishon Judkins? Because I wanted Judkins.
Cleveland
Browns.
Cleveland, right? Yeah. 2 picks before us or 3 picks before us, whatever.
I like Judkins a lot. I mean, we can go back. You can watch the podcast from before the draft. Judkins, I liked better than Henderson.
Me too.
A lot of people do. Yeah,
me too. That's the guy I would have went for right off the bat.
Apparently, so does
although
Cleveland
I didn't
PD.
feel that way. I disagree with both of you guys. I don't know how PJ feels about it. love Travion Henderson because he's a better pass blocker and he can catch and run. He's that multi-purpose running back that I love. Matt Forte, I love you. Walter Payton, I love you. But I mean, Walter Payton can do everything: throw, catch, block, everything.
Henderson's
Kick return.
fast, too.
Yeah.
Play defense. Oh wait, sorry, Ditka wouldn't let him.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right.
I don't know. I think pass blocking is so overrated for running backs in today's game. Like,
Really?
let's be honest. If you can throw a shoulder at somebody, that's as much time as modern quarterbacks should need.
No,
You know?
I disagree with you.
Now, whether it's what
not-
they do need or not is completely different. But frankly, like if you've got an unblocked guy coming off the edge, all you got to do as a running back is get in his way enough to slow him down. And in today's NFL, that should be able to buy him the 2 seconds he needs to get that ball out.
Depending on the route.
Thursday night in
Right.
Minnesota.
Depends on the route,
Bears,
but a good
Vikings
coordinator should have an
Great
out for
flag.
all of that.
Oh, I love this. Things are
Well,
getting heated here.
I think the problem is like if I'm in press man, and I'm going to hold, I'm going to keep this receiver in front of me for the first 3 seconds. That's all that defensive end needs. Now, the longer routes, yeah, he may beat me because he'll be able to get some leverage at some point. But for that first 3 seconds, if I'm in press man, I can jam him and keep him entangled enough to where, man, that guy can get there. And if that running back is not able to make the correct block, it's a sack. Now, to your point, though, if it goes longer, if he is now able to hold him, that wide receiver can get open because, man,
Sure.
I can't press him for that long.
No, that's fair. That does create better opportunity, if you can extend the play. My simple point is that in the ideal offense, you're taking your 3-step, 5-step, 7-step drop. Let's be real. Sometimes there's a 1-step drop, but those are not the plays you usually have running backs as pass blockers on, right? So in your 3-step, 5-step, 7-step drops, that quarterback, he should hit his back foot at the end of that drop and fire the ball. Like, again, assuming everything's going correctly. So in order for a running back to be effective in that situation, all he's got to do is slow down the pass rush. He doesn't have to make a block. He's just got to get in the way. It's why guys like...
Excuse me for interrupting, but it's not... it's almost, that's the second most important thing, is to sustain the block and to throw a good block. The number one important thing is to get in position, is to recognize, is should I pick up that guy or is it going to be that guy, or is it going to be somebody up the middle? That's the important thing. And so it takes work in the film room, work with the position coach, and then executing that recognition, post snap recognition of picking up the block, and then the block is another story unto itself.
And that's fair. And that's probably on me for like lumping some things in together because, I was asked to play the position. I never truly understood it because I didn't actually, I never played a snap. Like I'll fully own that. I played flag football. I practiced for the varsity team. I never actually played with the varsity team. All right. So I learned my playbook. I understood. And again, maybe I just have a little more thinking ability than some other guys out there. But to me, it's, if your left tackle, say you're on the left side of the quarterback, if your left tackle's going there and your right tackle and your left guard's going there, well, I either have to cover this gap or this gap. And yeah, you got to make that decision quick. But frankly, if you're a running back, you should be able to see that gap just like it's a running lane and identify if somebody's coming through there or not.
But so many running backs whiff on trying to make that block.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
To Aldo's point, it's like, you have to first identify it, but then when you identify it, you got to be in position to do it. And when I see them try to get in position, they totally whiff. I mean, it takes a real stud running back to be able to stand in there and take that and absorb that block. And a lot of guys, frankly, they don't want to do it.
No, they don't. And again, this is where I differ in my mentality than I think some of these guys do, because their objective is to make the other guy miss, whereas the other guy's objective is to make them miss. and they're not thinking that way. And because of that, they're whiffing on these blocks. And this is, of course, a very basic level, a very basic understanding. I continue to preface this by saying I was asked to play the position. I did not actually play it. I just studied it. So,
well, I know why you just studied it a little bit, because Zim is a musical genius. His focus is on music first and foremost, which is one of the reasons I'm excited he's here at the bar room with Bear Their Soulz.
You know, Aldo, I wrote hard rock and style, undiscovered music genius, Zimmerman and the Chicago Bears, better Chicago Bears. Take me to Soldier Field, the only place that I feel alive. And every time I leave, a little part of me dies. Hard rockin' style of a man named Zimmerman. Hard rockin' style of a man named Zimmerman.
I fucking love that song.
Is that
I gotta say, I think the viewership goes down every time you play it.
That is true, but I still
that you
like
singing?
it.
No,
Me? Yeah,
no.
that was me singing.
I can show you guys some of my music one of these days. But
Yeah,
no,
please.
I wrote 2 songs in anticipation of our podcast this week, and one of them I feel like is just not quite ready, and the other one was because I was anticipating having my buddy come on for our pop culture segment, and things got thrown a little bit out of whack this week, and it is what it is. It's not a big deal, but
Well, can you play it tonight, even though your buddy's not there?
I mean, if you want, I can give you the highlight line of the whole
bass
thing.
out.
Yeah, no, play it. The whole
Look, I'll
fucking
just tell
thing.
you right now, the highlight of the whole thing is it romance or bromance or just a good time. All right. That was the
I
best
like
line
that.
we put in the whole thing. It
I
was
like
awesome.
that. I like that.
Dan mentions rocking out in the Hawks jersey. Let me tell you, there are 2 shows I very distinctly remember. Just to take a little tangent here, but there are 2 shows I very distinctly, three now that I think about it. 3 shows I very distinctly remember because of how hot I was during those shows. All right. One of them was wearing the Blackhawks jersey. The other one was wearing a Chicago Bears hoodie.
Yeah.
Don't ever wear a hoodie under stage lights if you can't help it.
No,
Oh my
don't do
God.
that.
And the third one was because I was wearing a full suit under stage lights.
Jesus.
Oh my
Besides, I
God.
usually go naked.
Look, they make for great pictures, even the naked ones. I mean, back in the day, I had a great body. I could pull it off, but it's funny too, because the buddy I was going to bring on, I had some images to share. I'll maybe see if I can pull them up, but he is a professional athlete for a living, right? He coaches and trains and makes money by competing. And halfway through all of our concerts, he'd, I'm too hot, and just take his shirt off. And it's
And the
like,
girls will go wild.
must be nice, bud. Thanks. You're making the rest of us feel like shit. All right.
I did it on BCP once. We lost like all 50 viewers in like 30 seconds.
Come on, Foster. Let me see that 6-pack. Let me see that 6-pack.
I don't have any beer here.
That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for you to put up a 6-pack of
I
Schlitz.
don't have one. I wish I had the old kind of old style.
There you go. There's the 6-pack, fellas.
There you go. Kona big. That's an excellent beer. Have to say, man, I wish I had my beer here so I could show off.
Kona's become my go-to since I moved out here. I don't know what it is, but something about moving further away from the ocean makes me love Kona.
D. Starren says you need a good lighting guy. I don't know. I like the way everybody's lit right now. I think.
I'm lit for sure.
I think you're talking about the stage lights.
That's what he's talking about. Yes.
Oh yeah. Well, I got lit for those too.
I think Zim, you could use a little backlight. I see you got like a little purple black light kind of thing off your left shoulder there, but a little bit more intensity might help to separate from the dark background.
Oh sure. I can.
As
set
for
up
you,
right now.
Foster, I don't want to know what the hell's going on in the background. You got the reversed Chicago Bears sign. Is that your camera or the actual flag?
No, when you come down the street, and you turn on my street, and you come down the street, you'll see it right way when you're driving up. So it's literally for people outside to see it.
Ah, I see. Oh, because
Got
it's
it.
at
I've
the
got it.
window.
It's facing outside. It's a window cover, right?
Oh, there you go, PJ. I know you and I were wondering that because we're the smartest guys in the room.
Well, I'm redoing the. I got my bathroom studio. Is who always says I'm in the bathroom? I can't remember his name, man. He's always in chat too. So I got my bathroom studio, but I'm like I said, or no, I didn't. That was on the pre-show. My house was on fire. So
that's right.
You know, I've been redoing everything, man. I showed, and I think in our members only content, I even showed them some of the room, and we were talking.
Whoa, we don't need to hear about the members only content.
Yeah, they got a little
Well, come on, Steve. You just said when you were hot. I was going, don't get a big swollen head, dude. But you were talking about sweating. So see, I was wrong.
So how much, Foster, how much time do you spend in the bathroom?
Not as much as I want to, man.
No?
It was.
I like
burnt
the
out.
lighting.
I got a bucket. I got a bucket and a couple of dual bags, dude. Things are rough over here, man.
There you go.
People are like, dude, let me use your bathroom. Okay, and I have them walk in the front door and go right out in the backyard and piss.
Jesus. Zim has adjusted his lighting. Is that any better for people? I gotta say it
Looks
is.
good.
Let me see that second camera there, Zim.
Oh, the second camera? You probably don't want to see it.
Come on, let's take a look.
I have no idea what it's looking at right now. Just
Well,
a heads up. I don't know what's about to happen here.
All right, come on. Let's go.
Oh, hang on. That was the microphone, not the camera.
Yeah, come on. He really is lit. Look at this guy. He's supposed to be the tech music guy in the show. He hasn't done shit yet.
What is it? Oh my god, I'm in the wrong menu, y'all.
Oh man,
I'm a mess
he thinks
over
he's.
here.
Oh, look at that.
There we
Look
go.
at- holy shit! Stand up and show us your clit. Wow. We lost him. He is gone. Now he's back. There he is.
Back.
Did you hear what I said before you got
up? Something.
I said, stand up and show us your clit.
Oh God, no! Let's stand up though. There you go.
I like the shirt, the Tecmo Bowl.
That is awesome.
Oh yeah, man! I got this on a giveaway on Twitter. I don't even know. They were doing something like locally here in Omaha area, and I don't know. I won the shirt. It was pretty sick.
That is nice.
That's how I get most of my SIG gear. That's how I got the hat I'm wearing, the CHSN hat that I got on. I won some kind of giveaway.
Jesus.
So
I'm not going to send him any presents. He should send me shit.
Yeah, really.
Omaha.
Ked says Zim doesn't take kindly to clitorial humor. I remember that, Keds. Thank you.
I do, although if I'm holding it.
Yes, exactly. I've spent some time with Foster. He will talk at length about clitorises.
Hey, Zim, I got a question, man. How many
yes, I know where a clitoris is.
Somewhere down there.
Yeah, no, if you just fumble around long enough, she'll help you out.
Exactly. That's the way it should be. Thank you.
All right, PJ.
How many concerts have you done?
How many concerts have I done?
Yeah.
Like me, like playing, performing?
Yeah.
I genuinely couldn't count.
He was too
It would be somewhere in the 50 to 100 range, I'd be guessing.
Nice.
Impressive, man.
Nice.
That's a general guess. I've been in, I consider 3 major, quote unquote, major bands. I never hit the touring life. I never hit that cycle. I had plans to with 2 of the bands that I was in, and they both fell through for one reason or another. I played You just know how to throw me off. I'm just narcissistic enough to look at it every time, you know?
I know how to press your buttons.
But, I mean, you know, the most recent band I was in was nearly a decade ago at this point. So It's been quite some time. I haven't really played out much, but I've played 3 or 4 solo shows. My first band played 3 or 4 shows. The band after that would have played 1 show. The band after that would have played, we were active for about a year and a half, average about 1 show a month. So figure probably 15 to 20 shows. So right off the bat there, in the first 3 years I was making music, we're at 20 shows, figure double or triple that at some point. That's why I say in the range of 50 to 100.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, and I agree with J2K. That is awesome. But I got Sports Chicago style. I think I has this wrong. Who's Foster?
Trips.
Help him.
The
clitoris is not anything
not
to
a
do with the
myth.
G spot. No, the G spot is a couple of
Inside.
inches, 3 inches inside. You want to get a girl off? Put your middle finger in and then just tickle her like that. That's where the G spot is, and all your problems, cheating on her, being late for dinner, not paying child support, all that stuff goes away once.
Now, Aldo, you want to know a really fun trick?
Finger is about 3 inches, although.
Yes, thank you. 3, 4, I don't know. It's somewhere in there.
Get the tape measure out.
It is an incredible
If you use
complex
this one,
thing.
it's about 3. This might be 3 1/4.
Foster, we got to do a video where you explain that to us. BJ's just realizing this is truly an adult show. I meant to tell you that earlier. I'm sorry, BJ.
I don't know how he could forget. I remember all the times we were sitting in your chat talking about the shit coming out of yours and Dan's mouth.
Oh, I was just letting the chat know. I wasn't surprised. I was just letting the chat know.
Okay.
Because truly, I haven't heard anything as explicit since Dan McGuire been here. That's what I'm saying. I'm having a flashback here.
I will agree.
I can put on the voice changer, but it's just not quite the same.
Yeah, no.
I had a guy reach out to me on DMs and say, although I was really interested in your opinion on what happened recently with the Chicago Bears, and then I turned on your show, Bear Their Soulz, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing come out of your mouth. I think you should really reconsider how you express yourself regarding the Chicago Bears and about other things you talk about personally on the show. What you are doing is a disservice to yourself. It's a disservice to God. It's a disservice to podcasting and so forth. And so, wow, I read that and I holy cow, maybe I should rethink. Maybe I should, go back to Catholic school and, present my corporate job. And,
I was going to ask, was there a Bible verse at the end of that message? Or?
No, there wasn't. But here's the thing. It's like, this is me returning to my unfiltered, uncensored lifestyle. When I'm with my wife, I don't talk this way. Are you kidding me? I don't want to live out in the streets. Right, Foster?
My dad always said there's a time and a place for everything.
There's a time and a place.
This is the place for certain things.
So
Period.
I'll come on this show, have a couple of drinks, and let it all unfiltered.
Yes, drinks must ensue.
What are you drinking there? Oh, the unicorn.
The pink fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows.
I love that.
I still had one more left. I cracked it open tonight.
PJ, you ever had one of those unicorn drinks?
I don't drink alcohol.
That's CBD.
Oh, wow. I get it. You're better than us. Okay.
I drink water, though.
Oh, damn. I'm surprised you haven't gotten up to take a piss yet. Oh, that's wild. And Foster, of course, you haven't had a drink in several years, right?
Oh, yeah. Like 19.
Wow.
19 years.
Yeah, but I did plenty of drinking. I did enough drinking for all three of you guys and like 10 other people in like 3 years.
I'm sure. Yep. But if you ever want to come to my house and do some heroin, come on.
I gave up heroin in the 80s, dude.
Oh, okay.
I gave up coke in the 90s because I was doing it in the 80s.
Yeah.
And in all reality, I want to say this just not to slight either of you two, but not drinking for whatever reasons you should choose, be them moral or health or whatever, it's totally a personal choice. I completely agree with it for whatever reason. I've cut back from drinking, since I hit my 30s, I've cut back from drinking hard liquor almost completely. I pretty much stick to beer at this point because,
good for you.
I can still find things like pink fluffy unicorns dancing on rainbows.
Now is that CBD or is it beer?
No, this is a beer. This is a beer. So I live in a
'Cause I
state
know
where these
two
CBD
drinks.
drinks are really highly regulated. So
Oh,
I don't
okay. 'Cause
really mess with them at all.
I know two drinks a CBD drink before every show or during every show.
But this is a fruited lemonade sour ale. So it is, for a casual drinker, something more like a cream soda, rather than an actual beer. It's just alcoholic. I think it's, what is it, like 4% or something like that. It's not very strong.
So am I.
So. At any rate, my point is, I joke with you guys, but truly I do respect it and I do appreciate it for those of you who don't drink, and I will likely join all of your ranks one of these days.
It's just what it is, man. My thing is I have a disease and I can't stop.
Yeah.
So I had to make a choice: either die young or quit drinking. And for me, it's what I needed to do. I go out to bars, man, and people are like, dude, you're fucking nuts. I want whatever you're drinking. And I'm like, dude, it's fucking fruit juice. But it's bananas, cranberry juice, and pineapple juice on crushed ice. No vodka, no nothing. No. And then they don't believe me and they take a drink and they're like, what the fuck's the matter with you? I said, see, look, it doesn't even matter because they've been asking me that even when I was drinking. What's the difference?
And you know what? I bet it's just as delicious and you don't have any problems the next day. So,
I never lose my car anymore. I know who I'm going to wake up with.
That's not always a good thing.
I don't break out in handcuffs every other weekend. Although, so
I got a question for PJ.
I have no problem with anybody. My friends come over, they drink. I hang out with people that drink all the time.
Yeah,
it's not a. It's
I hang out with people
choice
all
that
the
I
time
have to
too.
make.
I'm one of them. PJ, question for you: how long have you been off the sauce, or have you never had alcohol?
I have never had alcohol.
Never even tasted it.
No.
I'm not gonna lie, man. There's some days I wish I was there too.
Just certain things, this is the Barroom Network. Come on.
I love what Jeff Willis. Jeff Willis says Foster's been drinking a saliva and tobacco residue from his mustache for years. So I've been able to really, I keep drinking and everything for like 20 years because I'm just sucking it off the end. It goes metabolizes through me, man. 1,000 years of drink, it'll catch up with you.
I love it.
1,000 years, your Sisyphusian task. All right.
Exactly.
You're in a bar room and you didn't drink? Out of here.
But PJ, congratulations. That's a wonderful thing. I have a grandson. I'm going to have a second on, and that's how I hope they live their life. Getting high, having a few drinks is always fun, but from a health perspective, if you can avoid ingesting that stuff into your body, it's the absolute best way. So, PJ, congratulations on that, man.
Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Now, for Zim, Foster, and myself, it's way fucking too late. so we're gonna keep drinking and doing whatever.
Speak for yourself. Way too late for y'all, but it's too
That
late
is
for
true.
me. Yeah, right?
How old are you, Zim? How old are you?
I'm in my early 30s. I'm 32.
Damn. Jesus Christ. I got semen on some of my underwear that's about 32 years old.
It's funny, man, because I made this comment off the air a while ago, but I was like the youngest member of the bar room at one point. I was like 24 years old. I was in here. I was raring and ready to go. And you took so long to bring me on air that, man, I have turned like some of that semen in your old underwear. It's no good anymore. What are we even doing here?
It's true, man.
I'm not the young gun I used to was.
You're gonna really be, you gotta do the 40 up and downs before you can join the bar room.
Hey, Zim, I've been in my house. I bought this house. I was gonna flip it, and then all of a sudden I had like 2 kids in 11 months. So
Jesus.
I've been here 31 years in January. It'll be 31 years. It's just a little fact, but I'm like, you don't put it in the scope of time. I'm like, holy crap, I've been here for this guy's life.
Well, that puts me about 2 years older than your lease on that house, so. Just barely.
The sad part is I don't even own it yet, man. I should have like 10 years ago.
Well, yeah, it happens to the best of us.
Shit happens.
2008 happened to every one of us.
The only
right?
freaking bill I got now. That 2008 killed it, destroyed me.
All I gotta say is if I had invested in some real estate instead of focusing on ninth grade, I mean, I imagine where I'd be right.
Guys, I know. For instance, Zim definitely has to work early in the morning. PJ, you're fully retired now, right?
Well, coaching.
Not really.
He's coaching, man. That's a full-time
Yeah,
job.
coaching is what time you got to show up for practice?
Well, we just don't practice. We're still actually recruiting. So, work starts for me at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah. And it goes normally sometimes to 8 o'clock at night. So you're like putting in a lot of hours.
I'll be up to 8 o'clock in the morning right now.
I used to be when I was just fully retired. Yes.
Yeah, because I'm wired coming off the show. I got some creative energy. I'll do some graphics. I'll start doing some shit for the Willis Twins or whatever, which, by the way, is this Friday at 7 p.m. Willis Twin Towers with Jeff Willis and his twin brother, Tim. So please tune in. Foster, what time are you waking up tomorrow?
I will be the first guy. I got two guys coming tomorrow. Got a little crew doing some work. So at 7:45, I'll be at the corner having breakfast.
Fuck. On the corner.
That's late.
On the corner.
You selling your ass?
There's a Denny's. There's a Denny's down the street, man. There's a Denny's down the street. It's right on. It's right on Manheim, Aldo. So I can pick up some drugs, a hooker, and get breakfast all at the same time.
Exactly. Where are you on Madison and Austin?
One stop shop.
Let's say Stone Park, man.
Okay. Different neighborhoods for different folks, That's how it works. Well, anyway, let's pull the plug on this. I can't tell you how much fun this was. PJ, Foster, for you to join Zim and myself. The only thing that could have been better is if we would have had Tooch and Shorty here, and maybe even that weird guy named Carl. Just pop it in from time to time, but we're gonna do it again real soon. Really love
you so much for having me, man.
Having the laughs with you, man. And
thank you guys so much for having me, man.
You guys are great.
Thank you.
You made me forget all the crap that happened today. Thank God.
Yeah, well, we're gonna be done in about 5 minutes, so it's gonna come back at you real quick.
I fixed it all, though. You know what I did? I took some THC before the show.
Look at that. Hold that closer to the camera. Let me hold that closer to the camera. Let me see what he's got there. PJ, write this down. Ozone.
Right.
I've been
PJ's already got it on a list. He's checking dorm rooms.
No, of course.
You know what the funny thing is? That's Dan's birthday present from Christmas, man. I forgot.
Are you serious?
I got him a card and some gummies, and never gave it to him. And I was with him 3 times in 2 days, man.
You selfish bastard!
I know.
I'll show him.
What was it like 2 weeks ago on the show, PJ? I'm like, thanks, Shorty, because I'm like, he's not here. I'm gonna have his fucking gummies. So I've eaten half the package in 2 weeks.
I gotta tell you, that is exactly what I wanted to experience. And I fucking lost my thought because I'm reading some of this stuff and it's making me crack up. J2K, Tooch is lost his voice. He's got laryngitis. Started the show by saying he's been sucking some really big cucumbers. But anyway, guys, thank you all for joining us and putting up with our goofiness here and our juvenile delinquency. And Zim, I love you. I can't express how much I'm happy I am that you're a part of the show. And for us to team up with Foster and PJ was a great way to save a Wednesday night not doing a show.
Yeah, it was a great time. PJ, Foster, I love talking Bears with you guys. I've been on your production many times. You guys have come on ours as well, and it's always a good time. I'm always learning from both of you guys, whether it's from your experience on the field or as a fan. And you guys really challenge my way of thinking, and it's something that I appreciate. It's a perspective that I wouldn't have considered without talking to you guys, and to me that's more valuable than anything else that we could bring here in the bar room. So appreciate having you guys on. You guys are always welcome here. I hope that we talk again, throughout the season, after the season, and into the future as well. Yeah, thanks again for coming on. Tooch, we miss you. We really do. It's not the same show without having you on.
That's
even
for sure.
if we're insulting each other back and forth. No one has had quite a prestigious career as you have. So in all reality, Tooch, thank you for the gift that you sent this week. It means a ton. Just knowing that, you would consider me on that short list of people that you can send things to. And I'm getting ready for fantasy football season. Tooch, me, and Joe Mandel, I'm sure we'll be doing this along with Adam Sham. It's hard for me to throw Adam's name into all of this because he kicks my ass up and down the fantasy football field. So,
he's good.
He's good, man. He's good.
He really is.
But Joe and Tooch, I can hold my own against. All right. So I love. It's funny. We got
bullshit.
We got a fantasy baseball league going right now, and Adam's even dominating that, man.
Really?
Oh my god! I don't know what to do. I'm in like 5th place in a 10-man league, and I think I got a good squad, but these guys, man, they know what's up. So
Adam Shaw.
Zim, send me your credit card. I'll put a BC logo on it, and I'll take care of this guy too. You might be missing $500, but we'll take care of it all.
We're gonna have Foster and Adam Sham heads together regarding fantasy. That'd be cool. Go ahead, Zim.
Oh, it would be excellent. But yeah,
you know what? I got to thank Tooch, man. Here, wait, I got to do this in honor of Tooch. Hold on.
Okay.
Coming in Tooch. You're coming in Tooch.
Yeah, just to wrap it all up again, thank you guys so much for coming on the show tonight. Joe, Tooch, Adam, looking really forward a lot to fantasy football this season. I'm assuming my role will be similar where I won't be on weekly and we'll kind of rotate in and out, assuming I'm even still invited, but saying it over the air, so you kind of have to now, guys. But at any rate, guys, it's right around the corner. Get ready for your fantasy drafts. There are all kinds of resources out there available to you. Use them, and we will be talking fantasy more in the upcoming weeks as it gets closer and closer as these preseason games start, because let's be real, it's our closest way to interact with the outcomes of these games outside of actual betting, which I'm sure Tooch will still be doing his weekend sports betting tips.
Yes, he will.
So continue to keep updated with Barroom Network for all of that. Foster, PJ, again, thank you. And if you guys have anything to plug, anything that you would like to say, I think now is the opportunity, unless Aldo says otherwise.
I just real quick, this is Zim Zimmerman in about 25 years.
I can't wait to have your cock in my mouth.
Anyways, go ahead and he took himself off the air. Sir, PJ, go ahead and plug away. Zim, I love you.
No, everything you said, Zim, because it's the same thing too, man. The age thing doesn't matter. It's you say stuff, and I'm like, fuck, this guy just fucked up my theory. Now I got to rethink my shit. So I mean, and that's a positive, man. I love that because everybody should take the blinders off, man, and get every angle and every option and look at it all the way. Because we don't. A lot of times we're stuck in our own little thing. So I love that. Can't wait to have you guys back on again. I've been trying to set something up with you, but my life's kind of fucked up. And I'm not doing my job as whatever the hell I bet. But how many times did Shorty fire me in the last 6 weeks? I think every week.
About 6.
Yeah. So
I think,
always a blast being on here. I do a show on another network on Thursday nights.
On another network?
Yeah. And I always catch Fantasy Goons, man.
Yeah.
I usually catch that show because I wanted to thank Tooch. This is what I started saying before. I love playing the Guillotine League, man. It's intense. It's intense. Last year I made it to the championship.
Did you?
Man.
Yeah, I did.
That just goes to show anybody can win in a fantasy in a guillotine league.
Absolutely, because I slept through the draft. I had to rebuild my entire team. And then for the championship game, I got up 12 minutes too late, man. I don't know. I was up all night or something. So I couldn't change the guy. I was like, fuck. But it's just a blast, man. I love fantasy football, man. I'm gonna do 3 teams.
It's fun. It's fun. PJ, you play fantasy at all?
Not at all. Not at
Smart
all.
man. Smart man.
Yep. It's just gambling with more steps. All right.
Yeah, exactly. It's gambling with a lot more homework.
Yeah, that's another thing. I don't gamble either.
Yeah. Whoa, man. Doesn't drink, doesn't gamble. I hope you're fucking, bro.
Because he got married. He gambled at least once.
There you go.
Let's be real. If you go to church, you're gambling all of it, right?
But I do want to say thank you, Aldo, so much for inviting me on. Thank you for, man, supporting my fundraiser for the football team. So thank you for that. Zim, I want to appreciate you for allowing me to come in your space tonight, man. I appreciate the conversations and your insights. I agree with Foster. The age thing doesn't matter because you bring knowledge, and I appreciate that. So thank you both for allowing me to be here tonight. And I'm found on BCP Thursday nights at 8. That's about the only thing. I don't have Twitter. I don't have Instagram. I don't have all these other things. I have Facebook. Luckily, I don't have MySpace, though.
I never had a MySpace. I was late to the party.
I had a MySpace, but then I got married.
Then your space was occupied.
Yeah, I didn't thank you guys, so I'm not gonna.
Don't thank anybody. All right, guys. With that, we will close the show. I got a little piece of music. I've been fucking around with this Suno thing that I learned from the guys at BCP. Carl and Shorty turned me onto it, and Zim and I have been playing around with it. I put together a goodbye close of the show song is how I should put it, but I couldn't put any pictures to it, so I'll play that as we get out of town here. And thank you everyone in the chat for checking us out. It is Thursday night. That means tomorrow it's the Willis Twin Towers at 7 p.m. Central. I hope you can join them and bust their balls like you busted ours. Take care, everybody.
It's been a ride. Leave a comment, sharing life. We laughed, we cried, we danced in time. Now the clock says it's goodbye. But don't you worry, it's not the end. The story circles, it bends and bends.
Thank you, Drippy Dicks.
Got him in the show somehow anyways. Damn it.
Of course. All right. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you all soon. Take care.
Stay safe.